2 original Red Thunders.
Went into Aldi to buy the Red Thunders. I could only see the one original.
Right.
There was a lot of Red Thunders on the shelf, but only one original. I managed to, by digging to the back of the shelf, I got 2.
They were the sugar-frees, were they?
But there's one Red Thunder original, and there's 2 sugar-free options.
2?
2 sugar-free options. One is pink, a pink Thunder, and one is blue.
I cannot be the only person on the planet, and clearly not, because Coke is still making Coke and all the rest of it, but in vastly reduced quantities. Because almost everybody, clearly not everybody, otherwise they wouldn't make any. Almost everybody is over to the zeros or the sugar-free. They are awful. Absolutely awful. You know, if you're gonna have a soft drink, why not commit to it? None of them are any good for you, are they? Surely all the rubbish they're throwing into the sugar-frees is going to prove to be as damaging for you as the sugar is. I'm not here to advocate for sugar. I know it's not good for you. We know, scientists have told us for decades, sugar's not good for you, and salt is not good for you in high quantity. So we know that. So I know me filling my face with Coke, which I do love, is not good for me. It's not good for my skin. It's not good for anything else. All right. But I like it, and it tastes as it should have done. The Diet Coke doesn't taste anything like it. Coke Zero doesn't taste anything like it. But I'm just saying, what's your view on it?
I mean, exactly yours, actually.
But there's nothing virtuous about having a sugar-free. There is something virtuous, I suppose, about being a vegetarian, particularly if you're saying it's because I don't like the way animals are treated and all the rest of it. I can go with that, totally. But I don't... It's not being virtuous saying, are you having the full fat, are you? Mm-hmm. And don't drink it.
Well, some people will say they prefer the zero and the sugar-free. I've never been able to understand that.
I don't understand it.
But
remember the lolly from the last episode? That didn't work either. There's no taste to it.
The sugar-free stuff, I don't like it. My dad would drink it because he's diabetic, so I suppose it exists.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I understand that.
For those...
Do you want a sugar-free donut?
No, I don't want sugar-free.
It's ridiculous.
But no, if I want to be healthy, I'll drink water. And if I don't want to be, or if I want a treat, I'll drink a Coke. What I quite find interesting is that some of the fast food outlet, McDonald's will still sell a full sugar Coke, but we call it a full fat Coke.
Why do we call it a full fat Coke? There's no fat in it, is there?
It's sort of just an accepted kind of. It's a joke. It's a joke we all make that none of us really find funny, but we all make it, and therefore it's sort of kind of funny by virtue of the mass usage. Anyway, I'm going to get on to, when was the last time you had a KFC?
Oh, probably 6 months ago.
And 6 months ago, because it was true 6 months ago, you wouldn't have been able to buy a full sugar Coke in KFC. In KFC.
This is ridiculous.
In Kentucky Fried Chicken.
It's hardly known as a bastion of... healthy eating,
You can buy deep fried chicken, you can buy fries, you can buy all kinds of
You can buy an Oreo Crush'ems.
All kinds of sugar-filled treats for desserts. You cannot buy a full sugar Coke. Or I think it's Pepsi they sell. Now, Pepsi doesn't... Pepsi's gone down the road, even full sugar Pepsi's not full sugar. They've got some of the sweeteners in, like your Lilts and your Dr. Peppers and things.
I don't like it.
But you can't even buy that in KFC. It is just... Pepsi Max or Diet Pepsi. That's what you can buy. You can only buy sugar-free drinks, but not sugar-free desserts, and not fat-free deep fried chicken.
Ice cream is presumably not sugar-free.
None of that's sugar-free. So basically, everything on the menu at KFC is incredibly bad for you.
Yes,
but you can't wash it down with a Coke.
And why have they taken that decision? They honestly think that that's the virtue signaling, is it? We don't do it.
I mean, I'm not really into KFC's business model.
Tell you what all of this has made me think of, though. And that is, my diet is absolutely shocking.
I mean, I can't disagree with you.
It's shocking. How I'm still alive is a testament to the human body, and in particular my body, yeah? And I'm not calling upon you or any listener to admire it, but internally it should be admired.
Oh, I've seen what you put into it.
It's absolutely diabolical. For example, and nobody believes me when I say this, how long have I been working? I've been working, and I was working long before university in jobs where I should have taken pack lunch in or whatever it is. So I've been working in that regard since I was 16, I suppose, but full-time working from 21, 22 onwards. But then all the teaching practice on top. So all of those years, not once have I taken a packed lunch to work in all of those years.
Well, our listeners know that, of course, because you've said that on the podcast before.
Have I?
You have. It's in a previous episode.
Oh.
Because, and I know this.
But it is
I think
true.
it's in episode 5. And I know, I think the reason I can be that specific is that's the first episode my wife listened to in full.
Yeah.
While I was sort of listening to the raw.
Did she have any comment to make about it?
She was absolutely staggered by the fact that you've never taken lunch. Never. So,
never. I mean, point is, never had one made, never made one myself.
Whereas, as you know, I do make a packed lunch every
You do, you
day.
like a quinoa, don't you?
Well, I don't. That's the point. I don't really like a quinoa, and sometimes it's a bulgur wheat. But I did make the decision to start eating healthier. I've always eaten fairly nutritious meals at least once a day, but I started trying to eat more healthily. And for about a month, I was really, really, really good at it. And it was really having an impact. But the thing is, I do still like all the bad stuff too.
Well, I've noticed you've got real extremes.
Yeah.
I mean, the bulgur wheat with, a diced pepper and all the rest of it in it.
It's a diced tomato, but yeah.
Well, let's just say seasonal veg might... get chopped and put
in all the major supermarkets, including your Aldi's and Lidl's, you can buy tomatoes and cucumber all year round. So probably not from this country, though. They're probably shipped in. But.
No, but so you go from that to and water to, don't mind if I do, packet of biscuits.
And I'll eat the entire packet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that is still better than what I do.
It is because I do have the nutrition inside me, even if I have all the sugar and fat as well.
If Jen was worried about the no pack lunch, she's not gonna know what to do with this, because I don't particularly like fruit, so that doesn't exist in the diet at all. I do like a salad, but only if it's prepared for me by somebody else. I can't be bothered to make one myself. I love a salad, actually. I would actually choose a salad above a pizza if I was in Pizza Express, let's say something like that, right? But I know they're not particularly healthy for you.
No, that's not a good example.
They'll be laced with sauces. Now, that's another thing. I don't particularly like lots of sauce. I don't really get that either. When in the fast food restaurant, slathered with, tomato sauce, and I don't like any of that.
Well, there we are on the same page. And to the extent that, although we often sit at breakfast on a Friday, because we get a free breakfast in work on a Friday. And I think
it's not supposed to be, is it?
Well, no, the breakfast's free, but we are supposed to make a donation to charity. Yeah. But that's not having the breakfast is not contingent on the donation.
Yeah. It's a nice thing, isn't it?
It's a nice thing to do on top. Mm-hmm. But then we get this free breakfast, and obviously there's
you'll make me feel like a crisp rice.
You're having a crisp rice.
Which is kind of reinforcing what I'm saying, really.
But you will...
It's a bit anemic, isn't it?
We're often on the same table as the condiment box provided by our good friend Rob.
Yes, yeah. And like a second mention.
Neither... Well, he liked the first mention. He was quite happy with that. Okay. I assume that's correct, Rob. Correct me if I'm wrong. You liked us giving you a shout-out. Don't know if you listened to the show, actually.
No.
I'm not sure if you actually listened to it. But
Could be a faux listener.
Well, I don't think he's ever claimed to listen to it. But I tell you who... One of our other friends, Matt... has actively said he doesn't listen to it.
That was good of him.
With some pride. I've never listened to it, mate. Never listened to it.
Seemed to be quite triumphant about it.
He was no interest in that. No interest. I admire his honesty. He's not listening.
Did he actually say he had no interest?
Yeah, he's not listened to it it's not like he's listened to it and gone, that's not for me. Matt has just never listened. He's our friend, actively considers himself to be a friend of both of us, and we would consider him a friend too. It's reciprocal. Mm-hmm. We both like Matt, and Matt likes both of us, and lots of people in work have listened to it, and us, I hopefully are still listening to it right now. Matt has never listened to this, so there you go. But Rob brings the condiments every week.
Yeah, he does.
Provides the condiments.
Little basket, isn't it?
A little sort of grey kind of plastic tub.
Bit like they'd give you in Wimpy, actually.
Yeah, and should Rob be unavailable for work for whatever reason, people panic that the condiments aren't there. So people love those condiments, but...
Like they were a brother, almost.
But we sit on the condiment table, so to speak, the table where the condiments
sit.
Neither of us have any of them.
No.
We don't use them. So
But if you've got beans or tomatoes on a plate...
Sauce enough.
You do not need sauce on top of that. No. What, tomato sauce on tomatoes?
Well,
ridiculous.
There's all these arguments about that. So for a while, Rob provided a brown sauce, but it wasn't HP. He buys these with his own money.
I know.
To give to the staff, and he because he's not providing. He's just a colleague. He's not in charge of the school, and
it's not like he'd bought PH sauce or something like that. Some sort of imposter brand.
But people complained it wasn't HP.
It's like rocking up in the canteen for the free breakfast and saying, "Are these Heinz?" And then saying, "Oh no, it's not for me." But anyway, back to my health, which you should be much more concerned about as my friend and my podcast. But despite what I've said and the level of self-realisation I have about this diet, which includes, and may I just say this, and I don't say this with any pride, I'm disgusted about what I'm about to say. Okay. Never eat breakfast apart from Friday in school. Never.
You missed it this Friday, didn't you?
No, I did have it, but just without you. But it's the first time I've had breakfast without you.
Yeah.
It was difficult for me.
I had to eat alone.
Yeah, and I ate alone. There was a room full of people I could have sat with, and I didn't. I sat on my own. They were quite happy about it, don't get me wrong. But I was happy about it as well. And this is not because I don't like them, but I wanted to eat that sausage and bacon with some tomato, a little bit of mushroom on my own. The sauces were next to me, and they were left on their own.
So you sat at the same table that I sat at earlier.
Yes. We both cut very lonely dashes at that table.
Times. And Rob often sits with us, and Lucy often sits with us, and they were both in school as well. And
we all ate separately.
None of us sat together. So that was
what a sullen morning.
That was yeah.
But despite the level of self-realisation, when a doctor said to me not so long back, cholesterol's not looking very good, I was shocked. So no breakfast. Might have a coffee with a biscuit halfway through the morning. That'll be my body's... you can imagine whoever it is that works inside you. I always imagine little men down there working. Going, oh, right. Here comes some useless caffeine down the system. Oh, and a biscuit. Wonderful. That's going to be no good for anybody.
Now, I'm just going to, because you've reminded me of something here. There's a few students who listen to the show. There's one by the time this goes out, he won't be a student in our school anyway. He's finished.
And by the time this goes out, I might be dead.
Well, no, he's not going to be.
No, but he won't be. I might be.
That's true, you might be. Anyway, he's a recently completed GCSEs year 11, so he has actually left the school. But big fan of the show when it first came out. Liked to comment on it. But he does an impression of you.
Right.
And it's not...
I'm all ears.
I didn't think it was a very good impression.
But it's growing on you, is it?
Well, because then you turned up and kind of did what he was doing.
Well...
So what he does...
Don't leave me hanging.
Have you got a biscuit? Is what you say to me. You go, have you got a biscuit? And I'd go, what? And he'd go, what do you mean you haven't got a biscuit? And I was like, just stop it, leave me alone. What are you doing? What do you mean you haven't got a biscuit? And then you literally did that the same day.
The same day.
Have you got a biscuit? What do you mean you haven't got a biscuit? So
it was, right, well, it's frighteningly accurate.
As if the world owes you a biscuit. You do get quite offended when people don't have biscuits to provide you to such an extent that I now make sure there are always biscuits in my office.
I mean, that felt painfully accurate to me.
I think it is. Now, as I say, I haven't mentioned that student by name because we have mentioned a few colleagues by their first names, but
we will not mention students.
We'll never mention a student by name.
They'd like us to, but we will not be.
But he will, if he's still listening, and I imagine he is still listening because he was quite a big fan. That was for you. I said I'd mention you, not by name, but I've done it. There you go.
I'm 50 now. I need to start doing something about this. I mean, I do walk around at high speed a lot. I do stand up and move around in lessons. I don't adopt a sedentary position.
Should we have a go at making the show?
Yeah, let's crack on.
Right. So, welcome to Ben and James Could Do Better.
And I think we all know we could.
Do we?
Yeah.
Perhaps you could do the register again. It's going well, I think, that way round.
Yeah, yes, I love it. All right, come on, class. Come on, all of you, sit down. Thank you. Yeah, no, on a chair, please, Jones. Thank you. Right. Okay, well, I'm here. I'm your teacher. JJ Burke?
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, you're here.
I thought that was Give me, cha-cha heels. Ba, 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 da, ba. Remember the Eartha Kitt song? Yeah, here.
I don't, but...
What language is that?
That is Danish, believe it or not.
Oh, unpack.
Yeah, now, the last time I went abroad on holiday, it was to Denmark. It was Copenhagen.
Was it?
Yeah. And Copenhagen, I have to say, it's very,
I love a Scandi Noir set in Copenhagen.
well, it was very pleasant, but there wasn't a great deal to do from what I recall of Copenhagen. It was a pleasant week. Pleasant.
Did you ever watch The Bridge, known as Bron, a Scandi Noir favourite of mine, starring Sophia Helen and Kim Bodnia?
Would you count The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo as Scandi Noir?
Yes-ish, yeah.
'Cause that's where I dipped my toe in that, and that's about all I've really, in terms of that genre.
My mother's not keen on the grey filter, as she calls it. The Scandi Noir, the sort of...
Oh, right, yeah. Well, again, I don't know what you're talking...
She's much more into Inspector Morse, really.
Well, I mean, I'd agree with her there. Although I've never watched either Lewis or Endeavour. Only.
Oh, goodness me! And don't get me started on those stupid ones set on a Paradise Island.
Death in Paradise.
Oh,
Death in Paradise.
Absolutely awful.
And the spin-off Beyond Paradise. I've not watched any of those now. I don't watch a lot of TV, to be honest. So, do you want to do postcard first, or do you want to reminisce about the week you've just lived?
No, I would like to do the postcard.
That's a picture of a cassette tape, and then sort of in front of the cassette tape, there's sort of this not silhouettes, there's sort of drawings. There's two people sat in front of a cassette wearing headphones. There's no cassette player.
Did you remember the BASF cassettes and the TIAC?
That rings more of a bell, yeah.
The cassettes. I remember my music teacher saying to me, "What you need is a good quality cassette recorder."
Sounds like
good quality cassette recorder.
Anyway, I think that's probably an appropriate image for...
And that reminds me of a good quality cassette recorder as well.
Well, it's a good quality cassette, certainly. And they seem to be enjoying listening to it. Although the twin headphones there, so there's sort of independently...
Yeah, I like that. Sort of links... For me, I think one of the first cassettes I bought was Introspective by the Pet Shop Boys.
Right.
Which again is 80s, because obviously it looked like a Trebor refresher packet. If you know the Introspective album by Pet Shop Boys.
My earliest cassette memories, I remember having sort of singles on vinyl, actually. I mean, when I was very young, and they were Cliff Richard and the Young Ones, but the Young Ones, Rick Mayall's Young Ones. I remember having that on a vinyl single. And the Spitting Image song.
Oh, yes.
That Hold a Chicken in the Air.
Yes, I remember that.
And then cassettes, I vaguely remember having Queen's Greatest Hits 1 and Greatest Hits 2
yes.
on cassette. And
I remember having Miracle on cassette. God's creation's great and small. It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
That would have been on the Greatest Hits 2. Greatest Hits 2. I think I would have had Michael Jackson's Bad on cassette. But what I remember quite profoundly is the Paul Gascoigne album.
No, that's not one I was expecting you to...
No, and I don't know... Fog on the Tyne is all mine,
all mine. Fog on the Tyne is all mine.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
He did that, didn't he? And I had that on cassette, and which again...
Good quality, was it?
Well, it would have been... I mean, at the time, I would have thought it was great. But that, just to sort of... A little nod there, so the World Cup is still going on in the background. You're still not a fan of football.
No, but I'm working on it.
You're trying your best. Obviously, Gaza, reminiscent of Italia 90.
My first foray into the cassettes was dipping into John Slade's collection, which included John Denver.
Right, yeah.
And Neil Diamond. Now, there's a lot to admire in Neil Diamond. Silky voice, some lovely songs. Suleiman, Suleiman. Remember that one?
Not hugely.
Crackling Rosie, get on, ba 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 ba. Yeah, so that was the introduction. Rubber Soul, obviously by the Beatles. But then moving into my collection, my first ones were Telstar Hits of '86.
Right now, that takes me back. Yeah, I had the Greatest Hits of '88,
which I think had Foreigner. Wanna know what love is? Ba 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 do da dee. Yeah, that was there.
Mine was very much the Kylie and Jason era.
Yeah, I think there might have been a Kylie on that one as well. But then we had David Bowie's Let's Dance album.
So it's getting a bit more credible now.
Yeah, on cassette. And as I said, Introspective by the Pet Shop Boys. I had a Morrissey album, I seem to remember, on cassette, or it might have been the Smiths actually at that time. Maybe it was the Smiths.
It's sort of, yeah, we're kind of, because we're moving into the compact disc era when we go into sort of more Morrissey solo stuff, I would imagine.
Yeah, maybe it was the Smiths. Yeah, but so Smiths, Bowie, and then I had not the best Elton John album of all time, let me tell you, but I have to tell you because it was one of the early cassette purchases, and that was Ice on Fire.
Right. No, I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, Ice on Fire. On there you would have had Nikita. Hey, Nikita, is it cold in your little corner of the world?
Gosh, I still think it's quite a musical edition, isn't it?
You could roll around the globe.
So, I'm not a lot younger than you. We're very close in age, but I think that couple of years younger than you I am is probably...
Well, you're feeling it, are you?
Well, more that I wouldn't have had... Like, I've listed all my cassettes, but really my music collection started really with the compact discs, the CDs. But even then, I think... Because I was quite into music in quite a big way in my teen years, and I had quite a credible music... And I saw a lot of these bands live. But my earliest CDs, I think... So I had a different version of Queen's Greatest Hits, which I got from America.
Yeah.
Because my godparents are American. And I went to visit... Well, we went to America when I was sort of in my early teens. And for the first time I'd ever been to America. And because I've got family over there as well. But I met my godparents for basically the first time since I was a very small child. And they bought me a CD. I didn't have a CD player, so that's how I remember that. And they bought me Queen's Greatest Hits, the American edition.
Yeah.
Which was largely the same as the UK edition, but with a different cover and one extra song that wasn't on the UK edition because they thought I was I think I must have been professing to be quite a big Queen fan. So that was my first CD, which was just kind of the same as my cassettes. And then the next CD I bought was Genesis Live.
Okay.
My early CD collection doesn't then reflect the kind of...
You see, mine were quite eclectic because I remember, I mean, this is quite advanced, really. But I had all of the Guns N' Roses CD.
No, I absolutely refused to buy Guns N' Roses for many years. I don't know why.
I did love that, and then went through a phase of Def Leppard.
Now, I did have Def Leppard in my collection.
You Pour Some Sugar on Me, etc., etc.
I had the
Hysteria album.
I had Adrenalize.
Oh, right, yes. Well, I had that as well, yeah.
Do you want to get rocked? He was from Sheffield.
Do you want to get rocked?
But he said, do you want to get rocked? He's from Sheffield. What?
Yeah, well, while you were listening, do you want to get rocked? I was going, you know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. Yeah, so I was listening to that.
But then, I really got into sort of Britpop stuff and all of that sort of that was the lion's share of my sort of compact disc collection was the Blurs, the Oasis, the Supergrass, the Pulp.
Yeah, you see, you're a big Britpop fan, whereas I went down the avenue then of Bowie, and more Bowie. Loved all of that. I remember. Obviously, we had the Let's Dance album, then I started getting into the earlier stuff and then everything else. And then I got to a point where I'd have to go to Spiller's Records.
I remember Spiller's Records.
Okay. On the Haze.
Yeah.
And order up copies of, he's going to drop Telling Lies in the 90s, special 9-inch or whatever the hell it was, version of something. And you'd queue up outside Spiller's and you'd have to have your name would be down to get a copy of it. But that was a much better way of listening to music, I thought. And then when we moved on to the iPod...
well, that's it. The album kind of died at that point.
It did, but the iPod... I remember downloading it. It must have been the first thing I downloaded was another Bowie album called Heathen between the early 2000s, I would have thought. Something like that. So, yeah, that was good. But I remember the CDs. And then, the Dr. Dre, and then into Eminem the first time round.
I did like that.
Yeah, so there was that sort of side of it, but then I would have enjoyed a bit of M People and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So yes, quite eclectic. But then I also had the Paul Simon Graceland album, things like that. So yeah, it's always been. And then because I was in choirs when I was younger and orchestras, I've never been a classical music buff of any description, but I'd always like some of it. I'd have some of that as well. Probably makes me a real toffee nose. Chance to be a fine thing, I think. But yeah, so and where's it all gone now? I've still got a box of David Bowie CDs, but everything else seems to have disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got CDs still in the house, but nothing really to play them on anymore. So that's
it's a shame, isn't it?
Moved on, isn't it? And I don't listen to albums anymore. I listen to songs now, not albums. But so I quite missed the cassette, actually.
And all of that came off that postcard. So
the postcard does have some merit.
But what we haven't touched on is listening to the old Top 40 countdown.
Mark Goodyear.
With Mark Goodyear, Bruno Brooks.
Before him, yeah.
And all of that. And I'm sure back in the day it was Mike Reed.
I think it would
did it as well. Yeah. And they literally were smashy and nicey back in those days, weren't they?
Even Mark Goodyear.
In at 20.
Yeah.
And a non-mover. You'd have a non-mover at 11, wouldn't you?
I particularly, because going back
to Climby Fisher.
Going back to the Britpop kind of era and the Blur versus Oasis, and it was actual news on the telly. John Humphreys read that on the BBC News. This is the biggest thing since the Beatles versus the Rolling Stones. Was that even a thing, though? The Beatles versus the Rolling Stones? I don't think it actually was. No. So it was a bit of a joke.
And in for the 13th week at number 1, it's Wet, Wet, Wet.
Ah, remember? Yes. Was that Goodnight Girl, or was that Love Is All Around?
Love Is All Around.
Right, yeah.
The feeling in my ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And I looked the other day, he's blinking touring it again, isn't he?
My mother likes a bit of Marty Pellow. Right, well, I mean, and it's been a couple of weeks since we did a list.
It is, and I mean, if that's going to be linked to the 80s, I've just got that vision of a teacher wheeling in the big TV on the metal trolley.
Well, it is going to be linked to the 80s, but it's not going to be linked to school, really, because I didn't find anything good, really. So
no, other than the BBC Micro in the corner that only 2 people are allowed to touch.
I mean, I've checked, and I'm pretty sure we both did grow up in the 1980s, amongst other periods of time. I mean, obviously, we were both born in the 70s. You might have vague memories of the 70s, very vague memories, as very small.
I'm not one of these, oh yes, I was in the pram and I remember this. No the only memory...
3 when the 80s rocked around, you might remember.
4.
So you might have some...
So yeah, I do remember I had one of the mats that you pushed a car around.
Right, there you go. So you've got some memories of being alive in the 70s, but you wouldn't really remember the 70s, you'd remember the 80s.
That's right.
And I was born in 1979, so I really can't remember the 70s, but I do remember quite a lot of the 80s. Certainly the latter half of the 80s I'd remember.
You used to listen to the radio?
In the car?
No, in the bedroom. There was no TV in the bedroom.
Right. No,
radio.
I don't really... I did listen to the radio in the 90s.
There can't have been many people listening to Radio 4, when they're 8 or 9 were there. Well, I was one of them.
Right, no, I wasn't one of them, but...
Scaring myself witless with Edward D'Souza as the man in black. He used to read a horror story out for half an hour on a Sunday.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but listening to Radio 4 in your bedroom is not one of the 15 signs that someone grew up in the 1980s.
No, well...
I have them in. I want to just check.
Do you?
The veracity of your claim that you grew up in the 90s. Because I don't, even though I know your age, and therefore I know you must have spent some time alive in the 1980s, I brought with me today 15 signs, because we do need to check whether people are telling the truth.
Oh, of course we do, yeah.
So here's 15 signs that someone grew up in the 1980s, just in case someone claims they did, but really they didn't. It basically says, here's 15 telltale signs someone grew up in the 1980s. Oh,
telltale. Right.
If you find yourself nodding along, you're definitely part of this unforgettable generation.
Unforgettable generation.
So
we will be forgotten, I can assure you.
I think probably the most forgettable generation of the people who grew up in the 1980s.
I mean, 60s, different, isn't it? Yeah. 70s, different.
I'll tell you what, we didn't ask each other what we got up to this week, and I can categorically tell you I didn't. What I would have liked to have got up to this week, and I didn't do, is I didn't go and see the new Masters... Well, it's not new, it's been out for a few weeks, but I sort of would like to, at some point, go and see the Masters of the Universe movie.
Oh, goodness me.
Because I did enjoy that. But I haven't been, because I've got children, so the last time I went to the cinema was 2019 or something like that. Apart from when I went to see Paw Patrol, that was with my children.
I'd love to spend time with you, but it wouldn't be in the cinema watching that.
No, I've seen both Paw Patrol movies, actually.
No, I prefer to see Paw Patrol than what you just said.
Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe.
No, we don't have at all the same tastes in...
I can't
popular culture, do we?
I think that's a good thing, though.
Well, if it was the basis of a friendship, it would. We'd
falter.
We'd falter. So it's a good job that we enjoy confectionery.
No.
We'd have nothing.
For me, Blur or Oasis, didn't like either of them. No. Really.
Anyway, number 1 on the list. Saturday morning cartoons was sacred.
Well, I don't know about sacred, and I don't like cartoons. We're learning more about... I mean, it'd be probably quicker to do a list of things I do like. I don't like cartoons, with the exception of I used to like a bit of Roadrunner.
Not specifically of the 1980s Roadrunner. That's quite...
Pink Panther.
Again, pre-1980s.
And Bugs Bunny, pre-19.
Yeah, I mean, they were all shown in the 1980s.
But I didn't go for any of the stuff from the 80s.
Because the 80s things, and I really was into cartoons in the 1980s.
He-Man?
Masters of the Universe. Yeah.
Masters of the Universe, yeah.
Which obviously the spin-off of that was She-Ra. Princess of Power. There was also Dog Tanyan. You must have liked Dog Tanyan.
I didn't like Dog Tanyan.
Quite a faithful adaptation of the original Dumas novel.
Dumas. Back to the old French.
Yeah. The original
Alexander Dumas.
That The Three Musketeers. Dog Tanyan is surprisingly faithful to that.
Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse, absolutely classic. Yeah. I loved all that stuff. I did.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. You failed on sign 1.
But they weren't sacred as far as I was concerned.
No.
They were there. I was aware of them.
I would say cartoons were sacred. I couldn't specify Saturday morning specifically, though.
No, I get the Saturday morning television.
Yeah, but I would actually say probably after school as sacred. Sort of
4:30 slot.
Sort of that sort of I
CBBC.
Yeah, so I think Saturday
or children's ITV. Do you remember?
CITV.
It used to be presented by Tommy Boyd.
I remember.
Do you remember Tommy Boyd and Michaela Strachan?
They did the Wide Awake Club.
That's right, with Timmy Mallet.
But then Timmy Mallet went on to do Whack-A-Day,
which I did like, but I also hated it.
Yeah, I think everyone felt that way about that. And Whack-A-Day, the WAC was the Wide Awake Club.
Yeah,
the sort of abbreviated to Whack.
Mallet's Mallet. The irony of it was he's not actually called Timmy Mallet.
No.
So it wasn't Mallet's Mallet.
Right, so let's just move on to point number 2, because I'm not sure. I'm now not sure you're going to pass this test. I'm slightly worried.
Not scoring very high.
We might have to remove your 80s credentials. Okay. Number 2. All right. Yeah. You remember when MTV played music videos?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do too, but I don't remember from
I want my MTV.
Well, I think your memories are stronger than mine. Right.
Which band? Come on.
I don't know. No.
First on MTV.
Def Leppard?
Dire Straits.
Dire Straits, right, okay. I remember watching MTV, but not really in the 1980s. I think I probably watched it.
No, I think that was, and of course...
It wasn't really available on terrestrial TV.
Would have contributed hugely to the Michael Jackson success.
No, I'm sure MTV...
Madonna.
I'm sure it was a thing in the 1980s. What I'm not sure is if you grew up in the UK in the 1980s, you would have seen very much of it, unless you had a satellite.
Well, that's right. No, we didn't have a satellite. We never had satellite.
So I don't think... I think this
perhaps I watched it over somebody else's house.
Yeah, or in the 90s, when it was when sort of things became a bit more available. Late 90s as well, so even early noughties. So I don't think you would necessarily... I remember the chart show on ITV.
So far, I've failed one but passed 2. You've passed one but failed 2.
Well, I think you've lied about passing 2, because I don't think you could possibly have watched MTV in the 1980s if you didn't have a Sky Dish.
No, but I would have gone round to friends who did have a Sky Dish.
All right, I'll give you that one. Yeah.
All my friends are better off than we were.
I mean, I remember music videos. I just don't remember watching them on MTV.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Right, we'll call it a draw so far.
Thank you.
We've both got questionable.
It's not supposed to be a competition, is it?
Look, we're checking the veracity of our claims that we remember the 1980s.
Yep.
We don't.
3?
Number 3, okay. You used a pencil to fix a cassette tape.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely did that.
Absolutely, yeah. Winding it back in when it had got chewed round the...
Yeah, if someone pulled it out, just pulled it out for no good reason, because you could.
Yeah, you could just pull it out.
Pull it out.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
And then you could wind it back in with a pencil. Yeah, so I do remember that. We're on point 4 now. Now I'm going to fall foul here. You had a trapper keeper.
What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, well, I'll read the bump on this one then. Speaking of school supplies, there's a link to school.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is an education podcast. If you were born in the 1980s, you probably begged your parents for a Trapper Keeper.
Right.
This iconic binder was the Rolls-Royce of school supplies, featuring colourful covers, Velcro flaps, and dividers that kept all of your assignments organised. Plus, they were customisable, which made them feel even cool. I think this might be an American list found by accident.
Oh, goodness me. Not another American list. Move on to number 5.
Number 5, very 80s, this one. Except probably not the beginning of the 80s, though. This will be later 80s.
We're not going to talk about leg warmers, are we?
No. You spent hours playing on a... It says here, you spent hours playing on a NES, but that means Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, I think that's late 80s. I don't think that's...
I never had one.
I did have one, but in the 90s, because we got... my friend bought a Super Nintendo and got rid of his old Nintendo, and we got it.
Oh, right.
So I had a second-hand Nintendo in the 90s.
You had a hand-me-down Nintendo.
Yeah, not down. He was the same age as me, so hand me across, really.
Hand me across.
A hand me across Nintendo.
Well, I didn't have a hand-me-down, hand-me-up, hand-me-across or anything else.
I hated it. I was dreadful at it. I didn't enjoy it at all.
I don't like computer games, but although I did do a bit of, as I've said before, Commodore 64 kind of stuff.
So I think we recognised that the Nintendo Entertainment System was a thing.
Yeah.
So I think we can both take...
I just couldn't get my hands on one.
Couldn't get my hands on one either, not in the 1980s. In the 1990s.
So it was there but unattainable.
Yeah. So Super Mario
which is a very sad memory of the 90s.
Yeah, but it's a memory, nonetheless. Yeah. And it proves you were there.
Yeah.
It proves you were there. Good.
Yeah.
Right. Number 6. Now, this is very 1980s, this one.
Yeah.
I recognise it straight away. Number 6. You had to call people, no texting.
Absolutely. Oh, my goodness.
It pretty much sums up the 1980s, doesn't it?
And if only people now would take my dad's advice, because the phone would go, or I'd say, can I... And he would say, the phone would go, and he would go, who's that? There was no caller display.
No.
It was just, how did I know who it was? But we would all stop. It was as if we had been electrocuted in our respective chairs. Yeah. I would freeze because I'd think, oh, my dad's going to think this is a gross intrusion into the evening. My mum would freeze thinking, who have you asked to call? Because it would be my fault, or my sister, I suppose. And do they not realise this is our time? But we weren't in earlier, so they could only have called. And then my dad would say, this is ridiculous. You've just seen them in school. Tell them you'll see them tomorrow. As I was walking to the phone, tell them you'll see them tomorrow. So I had to pick the phone up and go, oh, hello, Clive, or hello. Yes, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll see each other in school tomorrow. And he'd go, but hang on. I'd have to go away. It's not acceptable to intrude like that.
That is evocative then of your... So really, my only question about this one then as a memory of the 1980s is that I sort of remember quite a lot of the 1990s as being a time when I could only call people and
exactly.
Not
exactly.
And I'm pretty sure phones existed before the 1980s. I think Alexander Bell invented it quite a lot earlier than 1980. So
yeah, it's not just a memory of the 1980s.
I think I've seen films that are in
1940s. Perhaps we could have done the same thing.
I think probably yes. I don't think that's not a specific.
Although people were calling in and out on the Baker-like dial phone. Did you have one of those?
No.
BT.
I don't know. I know what you mean. Yeah, we did have one of those.
What?
Actually
like
dialing, actually having to dial, which gets us onto a later point, but not number 7.
Yeah.
So you had to call people, no texting.
Yeah.
It's a legitimate memory of the 1980s, but it's also a legitimate memory of quite a lot of the 20th century. So number 7's not going to apply. I've clearly picked an American list by mistake. So number 7, the mall was your social hub. The mall,
you filter out the Americans.
The mall was your social hub. Was clearly not. We didn't have malls in this country. We had shopping centres, and right. Number 8. Number 8. You know the frustration of dial-up internet.
Again, not 80s.
Not 80s at all.
Absolutely not 80s at all.
I would say 90s, yes, a bit. Late 90s. Early noughties.
Had the Commodore 64 connoisseur, there was no linking it to the internet.
No.
What you did have linked to it, however, was the tape deck, which takes us back to the cassette. And there would be a long wire going out, and then you had to screw them in, do you remember? Into the back of the Commodore 64. It'd be screwed in. The cable would be screwed down. And You'd have to put a good 20 minutes aside if you wanted to run Frogger between you doing it, and it would go. So it was almost like a phony internet.
Yeah, and I do. Now you've said that, I didn't.
It was
have
loading, and it would have something on the screen that would just be lines.
I didn't have a Commodore 64. I had a friend.
Well, the BBC would have been similar.
I remember my friend had a Commodore 64. And now that's been very evocative, that description there. So,
but you'd have to. I mean, you could have gone out and eaten 2 school breakfasts, for example, in the time that would take to load.
With or without sauce.
Well, if you put the sauce on, you might be able to.
Too long. So it says here, it's being born in the 1980s mean you were there, means you'll remember this. But of course, being born in the 1980s was not a precursor to growing up in the 1980s. So
no.
This didn't happen in the 90s. This happened later.
This happened in the 90s.
90s and
mid-90s
even
at
early
that.
noughties.
Yeah.
Number 9, you had a boombox. Did you have a boombox?
No, don't even know what it is.
I think it's probably a ghetto blaster, we would have called it.
A ghetto blaster.
I did have a ghetto blaster, actually.
Ghetto blaster.
I did have a ghetto
blaster. You didn't put it on your shoulder and misappropriate somebody else's culture, did you?
And also, didn't until this very day, saying it again, understand what a ridiculous name that is for a music.
Ghetto blaster.
A ghetto blaster. When we called it that.
Yeah, we called it a ghetto blaster.
And
terrible.
We can't have known what we were saying.
It's got to be cultural appropriation, isn't it?
Why were we calling them ghetto blasters?
I don't know. Yeah, but there were a lot of things that we were saying that we shouldn't have been saying.
No,
in that day. And that should be on the list, although it wouldn't be printable.
You grew up in the 1980s if you said inappropriate things and had no idea they were inappropriate, which is a lot of us were guilty of. Right, number 10. Number 10. You wore hypercolor t-shirts. I did.
You did that more than I did,
but again,
I refused to conform to anything.
In the 1990s, I wore a hypercolor t-shirt, not in the 1980s.
I think so. Well, I definitely would have had some bright Bermuda shorts or something, but that feels 90s.
That feels early 90s again, yeah.
Stupidly long shorts.
I liked them, though. They were...
It was ridiculous.
My mum used to make them.
Did she?
Yeah, that was a thing. My mum used to buy this outlandish material and I had a lot of Bermuda shorts. Yeah, I liked them as well. Really brightly coloured clothes. I mean, that's number 11. You know how to fix a VCR.
Well, there was a hierarchy of VCRs because you could have the front loader or the top loader. The old top loader. Remember that? Presumably where the band got their name from.
That's what I remember, the band top loader. I don't remember.
Yeah, no, but the top loader.
Oh, no, I do. Yeah. No, I do remember that.
It came out like that.
Yeah. We had
it would come out like
so
that.
The earlier models of the VCR would have had a top loader. And
then
later models had
there was a
loader.
Betamax, if you remember, a rival format to the VHS.
Yeah, I do. Right, number 12, you owned a Swatch watch.
No, I never did.
I did, but not in the 1980s.
90s.
I think even the
about to be noughties. Yeah. It wasn't an 80s thing, definitely not.
It wasn't. It was fine, but it wasn't.
It might have come out in the 80s, but it certainly wasn't affordable.
Yeah, I don't think I owned a particularly good one, but I did own I think I owned it more.
I still would have been sporting what are now seen as cool, but the Casio Digital.
Ah, no, yeah, I did have a Casio.
They're now seen as absolutely cool as you like.
Well, people can't read the clock faces.
Back in the day, they were even cool when they came out.
Did you ever have a calculator? Now, if that had been on the list, a calculator watch is evocative of the 1980s. Number 13, you played with Garbage Pail Kids cards.
I remember playing with other people's, if you'll pardon the phrase.
I had some as well, yeah. So,
yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. No, that's 1980s, and that is definitely 1980s. That's not later. Right. Number 14, then, because we can accept that one. We can just accept that's fine. There's nothing to say about them. They weren't that good.
No.
But there was a movie there. Actually, there was a movie.
There was a movie. Never saw it.
1980s movie as well. Garbage Pail Kids, the movie.
Maybe I saw bits of it.
I think I saw it, but it's not stuck with me. Oh, no, going back to the VCR, renting a video.
Ritz Video, which became Blockbuster Video.
So, because you were Cardiff, obviously I was in this.
Ritz was the original company.
Had sort of there were 2 video shops in Pencoed. We called them video shops. There were 2 video shops. Neither was better than the other, but there was, for some reason, it was more... I think my parents had a preference for one, and if we ever went to the other one, it was like very exciting.
But when you think about it, I mean, even back in those days, it was $3.99 or something.
Yeah, to rent
a video for a night.
For a night, 2 nights sometimes, if you were. So you'd watch that film 4 times.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can often buy, for example, and let's not make a value judgment about it, but On Demand 5 or ITV player is something like $5.99 for the month.
Yeah, no, it's a
but you had to pay
one.
$3.99. I'm sure it was even more for a new release. It might even have been $5.99 for a new release. So then you'd load up on the popcorn and all the rest. And this was in the perhaps it was $1.99, $2.99, but it was still a lot of money.
It was a lot of money. It was a big event. It was a big special occasion to rent a video.
And the card there was a bit of a laminated plastic, which just would have my dad's name on it because obviously, and then it would say on the back who could use the card and how old they were.
Yeah,
because they were all about that BBFC quality.
Things like, what are you going to do for your birthday? Oh, we're going to rent a video.
Rent a video.
No, we're going to rent a video.
Rent a video and get a bucket of Butterkist.
Yeah, well, would it have been Butterkist or would it have been
Butterkist? I think it was.
Well, that still is a brand that sticks. We talked about that on the podcast.
Yeah, Butterkist, yeah.
Yeah, my daughter's a fan of Butterkist, and Matilda likes a Butterkist popcorn, as we've said, but wouldn't want to rent a video for her upcoming birthday in August. Would not want to rent a video. Number 14, sort of related to number 13, really.
Right.
You had a sticker collection, Panini sticker books.
Yeah. Now this takes me full circle because although I knew nothing about sport and really disliked football, I had a Panini football sticker.
Because there was something satisfying about collecting stickers.
Have you got Ian Rush for the Welsh football team? Do you remember
Ian Rush?
Welsh football.
The milk. Do you remember the milk advert?
Ian Rush.
He says, if I don't drink lots of milk, I'll only be good enough to play for Atkins and Stanley.
Remember Terry Yorath?
I do remember Terry Yorath. Yeah.
Who was the dad of
Gabby Logan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know
right.
that. Yeah, he was the Welsh football manager.
That's right. Back in the days when they were any good.
Well, I mean,
they've gone through several phases of being very good, but we're not in one at the moment, are we?
They're okay at the moment. They're not. It's not the worst they've ever been at the moment. They're not. No. They've not qualified for this World Cup, but they're not terrible.
It's not the hinterland, is it?
It's not as. I mean, 2016 was the sort of the zenith. When we got to the semi-finals of the European Championships in the Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey, and of course Hal Robson-Kanu team. Reading listeners will recognise the name Hal Robson-Kanu because he played for Reading.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you'd have to know something about football to do that, but of course I do, as I demonstrated at the start of the episode.
As did Gunther. Anyway, right, number 15. You know what it's like to make a mixtape.
Yeah, well, we've covered that.
We have covered it. It's the same point. I mean, I'd get annoyed with it. If this was a teacher list, I'd be angry at this point.
Yes.
If it was a teacher list.
But because
it's not, and I feel it's kind of benign and harmless, really.
And because it's given us some sort of stuff to talk about.
Although I'd say I did make mixtapes in the 90s.
Yeah.
What I did was I'd record. So this is the thing. I had CDs, but I'd make tapes from those CDs. Because we couldn't play CDs in the car. We could only play tapes in the car. So I'd make but I wouldn't then just record a CD onto a tape. I'd record songs off the CDs.
I see.
So I'd make a mixtape, but I didn't make it to give to a girl or to impress anyone. I just made it so that my parents would play music I liked in the car on long journeys, of which there were many. So,
Oh, I couldn't have that.
In the Nissan Bluebird. Have you read Go See Costas yet?
No, not yet.
Now, Tom Hanks made some good films in the 80s, didn't he?
Yeah, he certainly did. So there we are. Well, that was a wonderful trip down memory lane. Thank you.
I mean, I feel it was actually quite a poor list, and I'd like to apologise on behalf of me for bringing that list to the table. I don't know if we convincingly convinced ourselves that we grew up in the 1980s there.
No, some of those points made me doubt it.
Yeah, but I'm sure I did.
And I'm pretty sure I did. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.